If you're in the market for a new construction home and maybe you're thinking of purchasing a spec home or building a home from the ground up, you're undoubtedly searching for the best builders in Kansas City. Fortunately, that's really subject because your tastes are different than my tastes, which are different from somebody else's, and it varies based on the location, the price point, the style, how much control you want over the building process. In this video, we're going to spotlight 5 really good builders in Kansas City, and what I'm basing this on is a list in the Kansas City Business Journal, 1 through 100. They have ranked builders based on the amount of permits that were pulled in the year of 2021. So part 1 of this video, I'll link it right here. We covered builders 1 through 5 on that list. In this video, we're covering builders 6 through 11. So let's get started. Part number 1 is Prieb Homes. This is a family-owned building company. They're on the 3rd generation. They've been building for over 40 years in Kansas City. With over 5,000 homes built, they're building in 3 select cities right now in 2023. They're building in Shawnee, Lenexa, and of course, where all of the new homes are in Johnson County is Olathe. So Shawnee, Lenexa, and Olathe. Now, Prieb, if I had to guess, probably builds between 75 and upwards of 100 homes every single year. Add a little bit, take a little bit away from that. That's probably the ballpark. They're building a good amount of homes. And they're not just building homes, but they're developing their own communities as well. So here's a picture of all the locations that you'll find Prieb's homes in. You can see they're all over those 3 cities. Now, 4 highlights, 4 advantages to working with Prieb. Number 1 is that they're building in the lowest price point for new construction homes in Johnson County. You're not going to find anything better than this. $400,000 to $600,000. Most newer homes in Johnson County are going to start at about $600,000. So $400,000 to $600,000, that is certainly a more affordable price than you're going to find in many other places, at least on the Kansas side. Number 2 is you're going to have, if you're on a tight timeline, you'll have a wide selection of move-in ready or homes that are close to completion. So if you're looking for something that's turnkey that you can move into right off the bat, Prieb is one builder that I would certainly take a look at because more than likely, they're gonna have something for you. And if you're on a tight crunch, it can otherwise be really difficult to find a home that's, turnkey in 30 days or less. Now, number 3 is a lot of real estate agents will refer their clients to Prieb, which says a lot to me because I know anytime I refer somebody, it's like my reputation's on the line here. I cannot risk referring somebody who's not going to deliver a good product because then I feel at fault and I feel liable for that. So if you read the reviews, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of agents are referring their clients over and over and over again to Prieb. Now, advantage number 4 is that Prieb is building a large volume of homes, but in only 3 select cities. So there are certain cost savings that come along with that, and that's how they're able to pass some cost savings down to you and build in that affordable price range. Now, keep in mind, everybody's got a different idea of quality and workmanship. It's so subjective. So what you think is high quality, it might be different than what I think of as high quality. But the thing to know is that if we're buying a home in the $400,000 to $600,000 range, we cannot compare those finishes or the level of craftsmanship to a home that's like $1 million, right? That would be absurd. So we've got to adjust our expectations to the price point because the price point dictates the type of materials, the quality of labor that's going into that home. But do keep in mind those 4 advantages we discussed. They're putting in the best materials and they're using the best labor that they can in this price range. Now, the last thing that I want to add is there are 2 very popular floor plans that I've had several clients really take a hard look at, which are the Levi and the Harlow floor plans. These are both 2-story floor plans. Prieb builds basically every type of floor plan that you could possibly want. These were the 2 that I've had several clients drawn to based on the price point and some of the features in the home. Now, some of the finishes that you can expect in Prieb's homes, you'll see some nice crown molding around the doors. You'll see a lot of archways out of the dining room and even over the soaking tub in the master bedroom. You'll see the classic wainscoting around the dining room. You'll see some coffered ceilings in places, some very classy finishes that are all included in the base price of these homes that other builders might charge you for. Part number 2 is all about Inspired Homes. Similar to Prieb, they're a high production home builder. They build homes in other developers' communities and they even develop their own communities as well. They're building about 100 homes every year. In 2021, based on that Kansas City Business Journal chart, they sold about $40 million worth of real estate. Here's a map that'll show you exactly where they're building. They cover all of the spots that Prieb covers. You've also also got Inspired north of the river, and then you've got them in Lee Summit as well. Now, similar to Prieb, they've been building in Kansas City for a very long time, but Inspired prides themselves on leveraging technology and systems and data to help make the building experience so much easier. They also have experience not just in residential construction, they've got experience in land as well as commercial. Now, in terms of the prices, what you can expect with Inspired, a very similar starting price point to Prieb. So Prieb started at $400,000 to $600,000. Inspired starts about $400,000. You could find like a villa with a 2-car garage at that price point, and their prices climb all the way up. I've seen them over $800,000. Of course, as you climb up, you're getting a bigger home. That 3-car garage comes into play around the 500s. And then as we get close to the 600s, we're talking over 3,000 square feet, usually a 2-story home, higher end finishes, and you've most likely selected the exact finishes that you are looking for. Now, 3 big takeaways when building with Inspired. One is that they're building a lot of homes. So similar to Prieb, you're going to have the opportunity to buy, you're going to have a wider selection of move-in ready homes and homes that are very close to completion because they're building a lot of spec homes. So if you're on a tight timeline, this would be another builder that I would have my eye on. Number 2 is that they are very customer service focused. And you can see this in all of the reviews. They've got several testimonials of employees that just went above and beyond, stayed late at work so that they could make sure the customer got exactly what they wanted. They also have systems in place to make the selections and the design process so much easier, which can certainly be one of the most overwhelming parts of building or purchasing a new home. It's like, where do we even start? They've got all of their systems down pat. They use technology to make it so much easier on you. Number 3 is very similar to those good reviews. You've got a dedicated project manager who's going to communicate with you on like a one-to-one level. So this isn't something where, you never hear from them again after signing that contract. They're going to be with you communicating so that any of your questions, any things that you want changed throughout the building process, they're going to do their best to make sure that happens. And you'll even see it in some of the reviews where, we had the light switch that went in just a little bit too high and the drywall was already finished. So the customer thought that it couldn't change. Lo and behold, on closing day, they walk into their brand new home. The construction manager changed it for them, fixed it like nothing ever happened. That's the type of service that is just over the top, and it gives you a good feeling about working with a company. Now, here's a picture of all of the different floor plans that you can build with Inspired Homes. I'll see a lot of spec homes that are reverse 1.5s. There will be a lot of 1.5 story as well as 2-story homes as well. So you've certainly got a very wide selection regardless of what your preference is. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, you find it helpful, let me know by hitting that like button below so other people see this video. Subscribe so you're the first to see future videos just like this one. And of course, if you've got other questions like how do I pick the best builder, what's the best community, advantages of this floor plan versus this one, what in the world do I do when we're picking selections, what makes sure my home retains its value in case I need to sell it. There are so many questions. It's my job to help you answer all of those and to find the best solution for you. The difference between me and the builder sales rep is that I represent you instead of the builder. I can also help you shop around different communities so you know you're getting the most value for your money. Builder number 3 in this video is SAB Homes. They're building a good number of homes as well, similar to Inspired and similar to Prieb. They're building about 90 homes every single year. They've been building since like 1989. So I think you're picking up on a trend here, which is that a lot of these builders have been around for decades and decades and decades, which is good, especially now, not just because of the experience and all of the partnerships and relationships that they're able to leverage to get you a better product, but also because they've survived financial cycles before. Like, we know how many builders were just wiped out after '08, and to know that all of these builders are still standing give you a lot of peace of mind, especially if you're building or buying a new home in this upcoming financial cycle where we don't know what's quite going to happen. Now, here are all the locations that SAB is building right now. You'll notice a lot of them are villas. They're building in Overland Park, Olathe, Lee Summit, Raymore, and even north of the river. Now, in a lot of new home communities, what you'll see now is you'll see like a 55, 65 plus area and or maintenance provided villas. SAB builds a lot of villas in some of these communities, so that's why you're seeing them on that picture. Now, some of the highlights of building with SAB, number 1 is that you're going to get a really good bang for your buck. The starting price point is around $400,000, and what that will get you is most likely one of those villas, possibly a double-sided villa, which is like an upscale duplex. Realistically, for a single family home, you're looking looking in the 500,000s and up. I see most of their homes priced in like the mid 500s, over 750. Now then the higher end products that they're building that are close to 900 or over $1 million are in high end communities like Century Farms, which is in Overland Park. Highlight number 2 of working with SAB is the customer service. It is over the top in an absolutely good way. You will not see it with every single builder in Kansas City. If you read the reviews, you won't find bad reviews. Of other builders, you will find several bad reviews just because quality is subjective. Everybody has a different opinion. SAB does a really good job making sure every single customer has a very good experience. And I can personally attest to this. I've got a client under contract with SAB on a beautiful home right now. And after the showing, we take a look at the home. They had Jessica, their superintendent, come by and answer any questions. It was a very, very nice personal touch that we were certainly not expecting, but I'm very happy we had the opportunity to do that. It was a very nice touch. Highlight number 3 working with SAB is the quality of the materials that they're using. Yes, quality is subjective, but SAB makes it their priority, their mission, to include upgrades that you'd pay other builders for, including those in their base price. So a good way to line up options between builders, so if like you're getting different quotes from builders, is take a look at the base model, the base plan, and what's included in those. If you rank up SAB compared to a lot of other builders in this price range, SAB is going to be including a lot more for the price. And you can see this, there's a whole list on their website. I'll link it in the description so you can check it out. That is just a way more value based on the price is never something that I'm going to turn down. Highlight number 4 with working with SAB is the warranty process. It is top notch. They're responding to complaints and getting them solved very, very quickly. They run a really tight ship, and that's the reason for all of the really good reviews that you'll see on their Google page and across their website. Now, SAB has a lot of really good floor plans, but keep in mind, some of these floor plans they might not have built for a couple of years. So if this is something that you're looking at, certainly get the base pricing of them, but also check and see the last time they built them so that you know that pricing is up to date. Think back to that list that I've been referencing from the Kansas City Business Journals. The next builder on that list is actually Streamline Construction. The problem is that I don't think they build a lot of homes as far as I can tell based on the research that I've done. I think a lot of the permits, which is how the Business Journal ranks these builders, I think a lot of those permits were commercial permits, not residential. So we're going to move on to the next builder on this list, which is Robertson Construction. The Robertson Construction has been run by the Robertson family for over 50 years in the Kansas City area. They've built over 1,000 homes, and they're primarily based in the Northland. That's where you're going to see them building a lot of homes, about 100 homes every single year, about 70 homes in 2021. So here's a picture of all of the locations that Robertson Construction is building homes. You can see there's a lot in North Kansas City. You've got Liberty, Kearney, and more. Again, similar idea, similar highlights to other builders. They're primarily building in one specific location, which means they can pass on cost savings to you. They're not super dispersed, which means they can rely on similar vendors and keep their vendors happy, which means that you're getting the best bang for your buck. Robertson is actually building homes at a lower price point than some of the other builders that we've talked about on this list. Prices start in the 300s and they go all the way up to $600,000. Now, I couldn't find a ton of information online. Some builders that are really, really good won't even have a website. This is like a kind of word of mouth referral situation. And the only companies that can really survive and thrive based on that are companies that are very, very good. So I'm sorry, I did a lot of research. I could not find a ton. You should check out their Facebook page, which I'll link in the description if you are interested in purchasing one of their homes in the Northland. Part number 5 is Roeser Homes, an incredible premier home builder in the Kansas City area. Similar to a lot of the other builders, they've got a lot of experience. They're very customer service focused. So if you're looking for a lot of control over the process, you want a lot of education, communication from your builder, this would be one to look at. Here's a map of all of the places that they're building in. You can see that there's a lot north of the river. You've also got a heavy concentration in Johnson County, Shawnee, even parts of DeSoto, Olathe, Lenexa, Overland Park. You even got some presence in Prairie Village and Fairway, which we'll discuss in a second. You've got Lee Summit, and as well as Creekmore, which is in Raymore. So a couple things that make Roeser Homes a little different than some other builders on this list is one, the price range they're building in. Starting prices are around the 750s, and they go all the way up to $2 million. They build very stylish homes. They've got incredible floor plans. They're putting in the highest quality materials they possibly can. The price of that happens to be a little bit more than like the $400,000 to $600,000 homes you'll see in some other parts of the city. The second thing that makes Roeser Homes stand out, they do teardowns and infill homes. An infill home is basically where we tear down a home in an existing neighborhood and we build a brand new one in its place. So cities like Fairway and Prairie Village that are already developed and established, if you need to build a brand new home and tear one down, Roeser might be the builder for you. Now, a couple more highlights for Roeser. One is the customer service. It is incredible. The reviews, you will not find bad reviews of Roeser. In fact, I found a review from somebody who built with another builder and then made a review on Roeser saying, we wish we would have built with Roeser because the product was just incredible. Highlight number two is the amount of value they're packing into their base pricing. So the standard features in these homes, if you line them up and compare them to other builders, pack in a lot more value. Here's a sheet that'll show you exactly what's included. About $25,000 or more worth of upgrades, including the garage door openers, which you'd have to pay extra for with some other builders, dual shower heads, the owner suite bathroom, home smart system, and so much more. They've got very stylish floor plans. I'll link the tour of the Lila model, which is at Boulder Hills. There's Boulder Creek and Boulder Hills. I think it's at Boulder Hills. It's one or the other. So there you have it, part two of the best builders in Kansas City. This was a highly requested one. I wasn't super proud of the first one. It was one of the first videos that I made, and I was surprised when people started hiring me because of that video. So I'm going to keep going down the list, and we're going to make several more of these. Subscribe so you're the first to see it. If you'd like additional help, which comes at no additional cost to you, but if you'd like one-on-one help figuring out the best builder, floor plan, community, anything regarding building a new home in Kansas City, I'm here for you. All of my contact info is below. Call, text, or email. I'll get right back to you. We'll have a nice conversation, and we will hit the ground running. Like, subscribe. I will see you on the next one.